All my secrets will be gone like this.
Oh, I know. Here we go.
So
Let's hear your secrets, Ralphie.
I love his strategy session. I think it's a really good session.
Yeah.
Kisses the llama. Mm-mm.
Yeah, he is. It's amazing. Yeah, I agree.
But I think for you, for enrollment or getting someone in the program, I think that we should send them a document that they fill out, which sort
Yeah.
of is a strategy session, but we give them, am I interested in this? Am I lukewarm, or is this something I really want to learn? And I think that they should tell us some things about themselves. Like one of the things would be, what are some of your good habits and what are some of your bad habits? Or
Yeah.
things to that nature. And then you get all that information, you read it before you have the phone call with them. And then you
Yeah.
have some things that you can target that they need, that they will get if they enroll in the basic program.
Yeah.
And then that would be my selling strategy. But I think
Which is
to
exactly what I would, yeah.
to
Yeah, go
build
ahead.
this whole thing, I've done the pie chart with him, and it's interesting, and there's good points to it. But I think that we should make something more basic for the basic program, and maybe have another one for the other programs that maybe ask for more information, so that we get more information on the person, so we can see where, what is the thing they're looking for, and are they going to get
Hmm.
this thing if they enroll in Llama's program, or do they need to, or will they get this thing if they enroll in the basic and the intermediate, and then they'll get it in the advanced, and maybe something like that. That was my thinking, because when you told me it was a strategy session, that's just too detailed. You're right, it takes a good hour. Uh, you need to have them do something, maybe not in the strategy session type, but more oriented towards them being in the basic program.
Yeah.
So we could say, here are the things, you're going to get here. I'd like to know a little bit about you. What are some habits? What are some things? Have you done Tai Chi? Have you done Qigong? Have you done martial arts? Have you, check, 12 checks. And that this guy or gal could really benefit from Llama's program.
Yeah.
Maybe not the basic, maybe the basic is going to be a little easy, but you, some of the things that Llama teaches you that are easy cause you to think a little bit differently than you were before. Like
Oh, for sure.
just using your toes when you're going downhill is something that I never did.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Just
funny.
something
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
did. And
Yeah.
it took me a while to do it enough to realize that it made a hell of a difference. And it made me it kept me more, I think rooted is maybe the nicer, it roots you better.
Hmm. I agree.
So, maybe,
Uh,
we could go through a strategy session and see what we want to pull out of it, if that's what you want to do. I'm just, I really think that we need to make maybe a 2-page document with a bunch of check marks, and just say, are you strong? Are you, are you, just, what's your experience? Are you into are you into breath work? Are you into meditation? Are you into, sleep dreaming? Do you have sleep apnea? I mean, I don't, there's a lot of things that we could
yeah.
ask that I think could allow us to better serve the clientele. And also we could sort of mix it up so that they know that this is sort of the basic, but the next one is going to really, float your boat.
Yeah. Well, and that's actually how it was for me. Intermediate was like, whoa. Um, But I agree. I actually 100% agree with that. And what I have
You know,
talked, or
so
what
so
actually
they really have
Sean,
to do some work before you talk to them. And then you get that before you talk to them, so you can review it. And then you can make some, really smart questions and really nice segues into what Llama's program is going to do for them. And
yeah,
then it'll be so much, I think, easier to sell it.
yeah. Also, because Sean mentioned that in this whole pie chart of all these areas, there are literally like 3 areas that are the most like geared towards what we're doing here, which are like the physical and mental wellness, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's very geared to it. And then intimate and family relationships. And I think maybe spiritual and personal development. But of course, it also affects career, finances, right? So it's not that it doesn't affect all of it, but I'm wondering, because already they have filled out, I have all the scholarship applications, they've already shared what they would want to do to make the world a better place, and also
Mm-hmm.
why they're here, why did they even apply. So we already have the information.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, and I want to ask you this question, if what I should do is assess what life area, because if we want to go from call, it's called a strategy session. These 20 people have been promised a strategy session, so they need to get that, right? But instead of going through the whole pie chart, I'm wondering if I should then pick, oh, this guy's talking about intimacy and relationship. Okay, well, then that area. So we go and assess those areas and then do the timeline, which would be way quicker. And I mean, that could be done at least maybe in a half an
Half
hour
an
if
hour,
I,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That
And
probably,
then I
yeah, I
have half
don't,
an hour to enroll.
and then, but in this case, are you going to be, you're doing this before you pick the winner, right? So you may be talking to the winner as part of one of these groups. Are you, are
Yeah,
you,
so
are
that's
you going to
another
do
thing is
this?
we're picking the winner this weekend. Like we've gone through the Sean and I gone through sending. We're going to send it off to Llama, who
Mm-hmm.
we think should have third prize, second prize, and the winner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's another thing I wanted to ask you. Should we do that before I reach out and then say, "Hey, you won," and then that is like then they definitely want to come on the call. Or should it be like a secret and then, oh, hi, by the way, you won?
I think we should talk to all the people who haven't won before, because then they'll have more desire to talk to you. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can tell them what's going on, and you can see if there's going to be if you can light them up. And then how much would they pay for this if they
Well,
don't get a scholarship?
they would pay $2,500. But the thing is, Llama has different links too in the enrollment session. If they win the 25% off, then there's a link for that. If they win, so they have different sign up links. So that's why I'm wondering if they should know if they won beforehand or not. And I'm even at this point wondering if all the people not winning the first prizes, or most of them, should be maybe in the run for like a third prize, you know? Yeah.
Well, third prize is what, 10% off?
25% off.
25% off. Okay.
It's a pretty good, like there's some good, this is using some good prices.
Well, I'm if he gets 20 people in his class and he's he's got a good deal. So I don't, I mean, I prefer for him to have 20 people in class and maybe make less on each person
Yeah,
than
I
to
agree.
have 10 people in the class.
And I think Llama feels the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what he wants to do in that case. I guess we need to talk to him about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think if you're only going to have 3 winners, I think you should talk to all the 17 people who have applied that aren't going to win before you announce the winners.
Yeah.
Because then you'll know whether or not you need to talk to Llama about maybe giving them a better break than what he was planning to give them. Does that?
Yeah, my only thing is I'm wondering if that would cause extra meetings. Like if we talk to 17 people, and it all has to kind of happen next week, because
Oh,
the
that's a
program
lot of
starts
work.
in a week and a half. So I'm wondering how can we, I'm not like, I don't want to hard sell anybody, but I want to be, warm and fuzzy and all that and really listen to them. But I also want to honor their time and my time. And I think it's better to close them in one meeting rather than several. But I am not you're the salesperson.
But
So let
so
me know if
I'm,
I'm,
well, my
yeah.
question is, are we gonna, I don't, if you're giving them a strategy session, I don't think you should close them in any of this, in the strategy sessions.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, I mean,
Because
that's
it's not a
not,
sales call.
yeah, that's not,
That's kind of what my gut has been telling me this whole time, but
you
yeah.
can't, the strategy session, I guess maybe we can make the strategy session so they're only, did he promise an hour?
No, I don't think there's a number on it. I just think it's just a complimentary strategy session.
Well, like I said, I think we should get another, I don't know how much info. God, I don't want to read it all.
Let me just I can just read out loud to you one of them so you can see how much they share. Would you like that?
Sure.
Or would that be helpful? Okay.
Yes. Don't read mine.
Oh, you're in there too.
No.
Okay, so Alexander, who we actually had a meeting with the other day, there's a question on the scholarship form that says the main reason you started studying qigong and or internal martial art was, and his response is, I had been independently practicing with a bow staff in order to better move my energies around and stop hurting myself. I took up the practice simply for fun, but it then revealed to me my capacity for orderliness and discipline through repeated practice. Showed me ways to improve in positive ways. And since then, I've met Dr. Nadia at Secret Knock in San Diego and began to seek out ways to improve my life and health through Qigong and Tai Chi. Through continual practice, I hope to strengthen my body, spirit, and thereby relieve tension and stress. Society tells us to stay in one place, but life is motion. So you mean there is like a complete amazing prospect right there, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's some other questions too, but that's the biggest, like, what else? Your preferred way of learning. There's another question. Your current challenges in your practice, and then he shares. There's a lot. This is a long share too, but there's something about timing. There's, mindfulness, and so this one has filled it out really well. And then there are other ones that are shorter answers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel we have enough here to do a sales call with them because or not enough information to coach them through, or not coach them, but like to actually guide them through a sales call and then enroll them.
Does he really? He loves to sell at the end, so of his strategy sessions, but with this scholarship thing, it doesn't seem like that's appropriate
Yeah, I agree.
because I think everyone thinks that they're going to win it or hope that they're going to win it. I mean, so how do we set them up such that they see the advantages of the Qi Dao system? Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah. Well, the last sales kind of study, like I did. Oh, sorry. Did you have something you want to say?
No, please go.
Uh, um, I was taught, like, I went into, like, I had a business coach a couple of years back,
Hmm.
and the way he did his sales calls, the number one thing he always said was to let the person know that this is like a call where we're discovering if you and I are a great fit to work together, so that
Hmm.
they know what this is. And in the sales call, basically, it's the basic sales call. He's digging the ditch, right? He's
Hmm.
like listening to the person, tell me what's happening, why are you here, like what do you need out, what more would you like out of your life,
Hmm.
and they're like literally sharing like why they need this coaching, and then at the end he goes in and lists all the reasons why they should then of course enroll in his program, right?
Hmm.
However, I also know that in Qidao, I've heard some of these meetings that I know many of the team members are, they don't really want to like do sale like that. So I'm trying to see if there's a middle way. Um, yeah.
Well, I think the only way to sell is to make sure that you're providing a service that the person wants. So you need to discover what things the person
Want.
values, so that you can show them that they're going to get that value if they enroll in this session. And I think Lama does a great job with that. And he is persuasive, and he's got a lot of experience. But this is a scholarship where he's going to give a couple of people scholarships. And they're all going to expect that they're going to get some reduction, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to Lama is, he needs to give, if 2,500 is a little high for me, but I'd like to go. I mean, what is a number that Lama would accept if they don't get 95 or 75% off, 25 50% off, or I mean, because you have to give up something to close, I think.
Well, and I don't think that's the problem at all. I actually really I remember Lama mentioning that maybe if maybe they will give them all, like there'll be one main winner and maybe one or two second prize, but maybe we'll give the rest the third prize. So I don't think Lama is tied up to like it has to be the most money. I think he's tied to let's how many people can we get into the program.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's
So
very, yeah. So that's very beautiful, right? Yeah.
mhm. Good. Okay.
Um,
So if that's the case, then, maybe you should do this session, make sure that you have enough information that you can get the right questions that'll motivate the student to want to join, and then tell them you know, you're happy to give them a third place position.
yeah.
I mean, if
Okay.
Lama is going to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll ask him about that. Um, because I'm just starting to get a little like the program is very close now. It's a week and a half away, and yeah, I think it would be really good to make use of all these people that have filled out this application in some way or another, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
if that means we have to give them 25% off, maybe that's what we need to do. I don't know.
I mean, that's his decision, but yeah, I think I agree with you on that. I mean, 10% is not enough. So,
Yeah. Okay.
but I still think before you have the strategy sessions, you should send them some more information so that you can get more detail on them, so that this strategy session doesn't take a whole hour.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you
So
should
what?
sort of get some of the strategy information from them, and then you can have them fill the pie chart out if that's what he wants to do, and go through it. But if you already have a lot of the information, if you've already made them think about that, then it's not going to be a surprise to them that that's what we want them to consider and think about.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think we have, and I think we also need to have a better, here's what the first program is going to get you. Here's what the second program is going to do. Here's what the third program is going to get you. Here's what, here's where here's, I don't know if he's got that on his website or not. I'm thinking. Anyways, I think we need to also do that. Have that
Yeah,
for
what you're gonna get
the,
when you have gone through the program.
the whole program, or what the whole program consists of. And then he's got all these separate little things that he sometimes does every now and then.
Yeah. Well, he does say, um, he has some very good ways of saying, like, here we don't, like he talks about, we don't just learn another form that has been taught, from another teacher. We learn
Mhm.
principles, and he talks about, like, you get, like, it's like learning a new alphabet, learning a new, like, once you know every letter, every principle, you can go out in life and use them your authentic way, instead of just trying to follow what other people do. And so he has these beautiful saying, like, I don't teach a qigong style, I teach a qigong lifestyle. He says things like that. It's very, like, his big selling points are very much like, how can you do this every day of your life? Like, how can you really implement this in your daily life every day, right? Rather than go do a qigong session, or um and he talks a lot about, you get the practice of, empowerment as a very important piece of it, where you will learn what you resonate with and what you don't resonate with, so you learn the art of being in the flow. And he has those things, but yeah, it should probably be there up on the website.
Sell me,
Huh?
sell me.
Sell you?
Mhm.
Well, I don't know anything about you.
Ah,
Bob, who are you? Where can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
well, I first discovered Qigong, my massage girl told me I was too stiff and I needed to relax and get more in touch with myself. She said, I should really see this Jeff Primack, that she went to one of his sessions. It was a 3 days. Actually, it was like a Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, this whole deal. And so we then went once to that, and I liked it a lot. And I never really had experienced any energy. I mean, I never really, can I just say that my body has always been a mystery to me. And I grew up thinking that
Mm-hmm.
my brain was in charge of everything, and my brain was taking care of all this stuff. So I didn't really care about it at all, because I thought it was all my brain was in control of all that. And when I realized later on that my body is smarter than my brain, I mean, that is something that, blew me away, because it caused me to look at things so much differently and not think of
Mm-hmm.
my brain as uh, the director of my body. My body is really the director, and my brain is sometimes helpful, but a lot of times not very helpful, because
Mm-hmm.
the brain is thinking all the time about stuff that I really don't care about a lot of times.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, what is that saying? They say your body is not just transportation for your head.
No, it isn't just transportation for your body. Is, if you let your body do what it needs to do, you're so much better off, because
Mm.
as you're trying to control how your body's operating, that's a waste. And the body knows how to do it automatically. It's part of its system. That's the system.
Yeah,
Just
that's
like
beautiful.
if you try to control your intestines to take care of getting your nutrition and, balancing it out and all that. No, it's not. It does it automatically. We don't need to. We just need to be knowledgeable about it and let it do what it needs to do.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
my
I agree.
deal. I really thought that my mind was in charge, and I didn't have to worry about anything else.
Interesting.
And then all of a sudden I realized
So,
everything. And then, Lama just changed the way I move a little bit, not 100%, because it's hard to move sometimes as gracefully as he does, but someday. I mean, I am
someday, yeah.
older than him, but
Well, I'm wondering if also it is beneficial to really lean into your authentic practice, right? Like Lama is, of course, an amazing instructor. I
Mhm,
totally agree. Um, and he's moving the way his body is telling him to move. Like you said, his our bodies are way more clever than the brain.
mhm.
So maybe your body is telling you to move in your way.
Hopefully, but yeah, I understand. I'm just saying that it's
Yeah.
when I think about it, I started to get a book on anatomy because I don't know anatomy. I mean, I really wasn't taught it in school, or
Mm,
if I was taught it, I didn't understand it. And so now I'm reading books on anatomy and it's just like blowing me away. Just like
wow.
the stuff that Lama writes, a lot of it can blow me away
Yeah. Interesting. Hmm.
because I'm so superficial, I guess. I mean, I'm a program manager. I worked with a lot of aerospace stuff. I was a naval officer. I mean, I did a lot of things, but I didn't do them with the understanding that I can do stuff with now.
Mm. Thank you for sharing that. Interesting. Okay. So currently in your life, now having figured out or having gotten to know that your body is actually way more smart or way cleverer than your brain is,
Mhm,
what if I were to ask you a little bit about your level of satisfaction in the area that is physical wellness? How well are you doing? If you were to like list that on a scale from a 0 to 100, where 0 is probably disease, 100 would be like a superhero or something like that. And realistically, where would you say you are currently in your physical wellness? How satisfied are you?
well, I don't think you can ever become 100% satisfied. I
Mm.
don't think that's, but maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger is. I don't know. Anyways, I think
Mm.
there's a lot of opportunities in that question. But I would say I do I'd go exercise Monday through, I'm retired. I exercise Monday through Friday from 8:20 to 10:15. I do Tai Chi forms. I do Tai Chi sword. I do Tai Chi fan. And then I do just an exercise for 30 minutes where I try to do it. And we're doing it in a group and we do it outdoors. So we're right by a creek. So I think that's probably enough for me. I don't know that I need to do any extra walking or any other things. I walk to the creek, I do the exercise, I walk back from the creek. I
That's
think I'm
that's
pretty
incredible.
healthy. I think I'm pretty healthy.
Yeah. So
And then
what would you say your level of
I do
satisfaction would
I
be?
do lawn bowling a couple times a week. under the grass. It's sort of cool. I mean, I guess I enjoy retirement.
Mm, it sounds like it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what would you like if you were to give me a number, just like humor me, what would that number be from a
For
scale from
for
0 to
physical
100?
health,
How healthy do you feel? How do you feel in your physical wellness? Yeah. Or how
I think
satisfied?
let's say 85%.
85. That's awesome. Thank you for humoring me and giving me a number.
You're welcome. But
Huh?
for financial, I'm not in like I'm in like the 40 percentile.
Okay. So you said you're
And
retired.
spiritual, I don't know where I am spiritually, really. I sort of fell away from organized religion. So I really don't know where I stand with that, truthfully.
Interesting. What if it's if yeah, yeah, spiritually, if you think about it, like you said, this has nothing to do with religion.
If it has nothing to do with the religion, maybe I'm in the 75 percentile.
Okay.
For some
Yeah,
reason, I
thank you
think
for
if I
sharing that.
was in a religion, I guess I'd be higher. I don't know. I just,
Okay, interesting. Yeah, and they're usually two separate things. Like in the Academy of Qidao, we talk a lot about there's some sayings out there about wanting to become enlightened. Like it's like this end goal in life where as we're all humans and studying how to be a human, how to live a more beautiful and balanced human life, like Lama always says it's like, what if you were, instead of trying to become enlightened, stepped onto the path of enlightenment and kept walking that path step by step with other like-minded people around you, hand in hand, questioning, like asking questions, getting answers. How would that feel for you?
I think I would like enlightenment to be like a bolt that hits me and enlightens me. I don't think that's how it's actually going to happen, but that's for some reason what I would like enlightenment to be. Like all of a sudden, you turn the right switch on and you're enlightened.
Mm,
But I'm not sure that that's how you're able to become enlightened.
mm. Yeah, I hear
I
you.
don't know that Lama can enlighten me tremendously either. I just don't. I know you can realize that there's physical things you need to do so that your body is healthy, wealthy, and not wise, or healthy and wealthy. Anyways, I
So you're questioning
and I
if
love enlightenment, and I read the autobiography of a yogi a couple
mm,
times. Mm. And then I think there are some people that are more enlightened than most people in the world. Like I think the
I yeah.
Dalai Lama is an unbelievable person. And the fact that he can connect with you and then let that go and go to the next item is pretty amazing.
Mm, yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I heard what you said, like that you don't necessarily think that Lama can make you enlightened or more enlightened. And I actually agree with you because I don't think that anyone can make us enlightened. I think
Mhm.
it is simply a path we ourselves have to
To
go
take.
on, and we have to make ourselves enlightened,
Mhm.
right? It's
Yeah.
figuring out, it's figuring out like just like you mentioned that you said you thought your head or your mind was the most important thing to you, but then you learned the
When I
body
grew
is
up,
way smarter.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Then you learned the body is oh
It
wow,
took me
way
7 years
smarter.
about, yeah.
Well, never late, better late than never, right? Or it's
Yeah.
like it's that realization. It sounds like for you that if you have a body that is in disharmony and not moving in a natural way, well, how will you have a mind that is in harmony if your body is in disharmony? Wouldn't you think it would be easier to be in harmony mentally, fully in harmony, if your body is in harmony as well?
Obviously, the more integrated you are, the better person you are.
Yeah.
If you have some issue that is, well, like if I had cancer right now, then I'd have an issue, and that would be my main focus on almost everything,
Mm.
because it's a life-ending experience. Can be, anyways.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I agree with you. Yeah. Um, in Qidao, in the Academy of Qidao, there's a lot of talk about being in the flow.
mhm.
And if we go against the flow too much, well, then, what was once flow turns into this dis-ease. It's not easy anymore. It then turns into being a disease, so, like cancer, like other diseases, right?
Yeah.
So would you say that it would be beneficial to really, truly, I know you don't have cancer, and I know you will never get it, hopefully, like you're healthy, you work out, you move your body, you're on the path, of enlightenment, if you ask me. Um, but wouldn't you say that knowing and learning what you resonate with in your heart, in your soul, so that you can constantly take the path of least resistance would make your life feel more at ease and more in flow, and maybe invite less sickness in and less obstacles on your way, rather than constantly going against what is actually in alignment for you?
I mean, to use less energy to accomplish your goals is an enlightened approach to life, I believe. And
Mm,
yes, if I could, if I could see within this space where the flow is, I would go towards the flow, I think.
mm. Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know where the flow is, truthfully. I mean, Lama
Mm,
talks about different holding patterns and and you could change that. And I mean, but I don't, and sometimes he does the thing where we're feeling where the flow is. And I'm not 100% convinced, I guess, with that.
mhm. Okay.
Because
Mm,
I can feel flow in certain things that I do. And I can, even when I'm doing qigong, I can feel the energy, but I don't know where it's directing me particularly.
mm. Okay. How do you feel the energy when you feel it? How does it speak to you?
Normally it's more of a tingling or a surge a little bit. That's about it.
Mm. Okay. So is it only something you feel when you're doing a practice, or do you feel it like in the grocery store or at the pet store if you have
I
pets?
can, well, what's it called? Well, I guess it's mindfulness, isn't it? Where you become completely sort of empowered with, like sometimes when I'm reading a book, I get totally absorbed in the book and I just keep reading and reading and reading until my eyeballs fall out and I can't read anymore. Or I get exhausted because I've taken myself to the limit.
Mm.
I think I can be in the zone, in certain work tasks and certain leisure activities, when I'm doing something that I'm focused on, I can feel when I'm throwing the ball in lawn bowling, I can feel sometimes I do it right and sometimes I don't know what the heck I was doing. And when I do it right, it goes where I want it to go. And when I go wrong, it just goes where it wants to go or where I indirectly directed it. I don't know.
Mm.
I mean, so yes, I feel that you can get in the flow. I think it's not something we get into every 20 minutes. And I think there's days that we don't get in the flow at all.
Mhm.
I don't,
What is the difference
it's the way we're,
between the days that you get in the flow or the days you don't?
if I could figure that out, I'd write a book and you would buy it and you'd be happy. But that's an interesting question. I don't know that it's a particular mindset. Maybe it has something to do with that. I can't answer that question. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you for being honest.
Yeah.
Well, how do you think your life would look like if you knew how you could consciously every day of your life step into being in the flow? What would that do for you? And you knew exactly what it is, you knew exactly how to get there.
It would be a different life. I don't know if I'd be happier or not, truthfully.
Hmm.
I like to think of myself as generally being perfect. I mean, if people ask me how I'm doing, I
Yeah,
say perfect. And they go,
yeah.
why? Because I want to be perfect. I maybe am not perfect at this minute, but I'm as perfect as I can be now. And I want to stay that way. But
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, I honestly, I don't know people that are would you be driven then? Would you be more driven than you are now?
Maybe. I'm asking you. What do you think?
I just don't
Yeah,
know.
more driven.
I mean,
Well, for example, you mentioned, you gave me a number. For example, you said your spiritual wellness is at around 75% currently, right? What if you were consciously able to step into the flow on a daily basis whenever you needed it so you could be guided? Where do you think your spiritual the level of satisfaction in your spirituality would be just in 12 months from now?
I guess it'd be a close, well, I guess it'd be 100% maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was something that I could achieve.
Yeah. What about your finances? You mentioned they were around 40%. What do you think they would be if you could tune into the flow around your money, your finances, know which direction to go?
Well, do you agree that it takes money to make money?
Yeah.
So if you don't have much money, you can't make much money.
I don't agree with that.
Well, I'm just saying.
But
Anyways, I don't know. I don't
all I'm saying
believe
is,
and I don't want to spend 100% of my time taking care of money. Okay. I'd rather spend more
do you
time taking care of myself.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I also, to share personal experience, is that sometimes I get so deviated, from actually paying attention to my finances, but I'm doing so well in my relationships, I moved to Costa Rica, it was so good. And then the attention went elsewhere. But like Lama always say, where attention goes, the
Mhm.
energy will flow, right?
Well,
So
yeah,
if we don't pay attention to our finances, then suddenly are they going to grow or are they going to fall? I think what's going to happen with the finances?
probably go to hell.
Seriously,
Oh, just like
I
anything
can.
else.
I'm
Yeah, I
not.
mean, if you're not going to pay any attention to it, then it's going to go to hell.
Yeah. So all that what I mean also by stepping into the flow is like, what if there was attention to be paid to, for example, your financial area, and then suddenly new ideas, because there was being more attention paid to the finances, more ideas would come, and maybe even ideas where you wouldn't have to spend a whole lot of money. There are opportunities like that out there.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're open to that, but that's where I'm getting at. Like, if you pay more attention to areas that are not as you're not as satisfied with as others,
Mhm.
do you think that those areas will kind of grow and become more alive, or will they die if you pay more attention to them?
I would think they'd grow and become better. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I'm not saying that. I actually really enjoy listening to where you are in life. And it sounds like you have a very healthy body and you've gone through a lot of realizations in your life. Um, and there are a few things that we can always grow, right? For the rest of
Mhm.
our lives, we can
Yes. Yes.
always keep going.
Mhm.
Um, and maybe this program that we have here is not for you. If it could be not for you, right?
Mm. Mm.
But since we are on a call talking about this program that we have, all I wanted to share with you is that the main focus in this first basic program of the Academy of Tidao is to
Mm.
learn the letters of the alphabet in a way where you can use the principles of Qidao in your everyday life, so you consciously can step into the flow and consciously will know exactly where to go. And you will also be conscious that, oh, this is actually against my flow, but you can choose to go up against it to learn something. Like, if we, for example, consciously chose to not pay attention to our finances, we would know already, I'm not going to pay attention for 6 months. They're probably going to go down a lot, but it's because I consciously choose it. But most of the times, when we find life areas that are lower in percentages, like we're not as satisfied, it's because
Mhm.
we stop paying attention to them, right? It's because we kind of let them slide and decided that that's how it's going to be. And I'm kind of okay with it. Would you agree with that?
Well, if you're not going to pay attention, it's not going to. Yeah, you can't expect a miracle to occur. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the basic program, not only do we learn the alphabet, and which is not another, it's
But
not a form. It's not
truthfully, what
like,
do you mean when you say learn the alphabet?
for example, if you have other qigong styles, you have a form, right? You
Mhm.
have like a teacher giving you a form, like, this is what you're going to do, and then you're going to go home and you're going to do that same form for specific reasons. Like, there's one good for the lungs, there's something that's good for other things. So you go in and you actually manipulate the qi,
Mhm.
rather than, if you learn the principles of qi dao, different principles, that, for example, principle of stabilization, or how to be natural, how to strengthen your body. If you learn these principles, it's like learning the alphabet. Like, one principle is A, another principle is B, another principle is C. Then when you go
I think
home
you
from
should. I
training,
think you should use principles instead of alphabet.
okay,
Alphabet is
okay, go.
alphabet is too word ori is. is letter oriented. I mean, when I hear it, I just feel like, what the, what?
Okay, cool. Thank you for that feedback. Yeah.
I think that, the Qigao, I think you said it, it's good to say that Qigao has principles that you discover through Lama's, not teaching, not demonstration, inquiry,
Explorations is what he
explorations, maybe,
uses.
yeah,
Yeah.
exploration, yeah. Through
So through,
exploration
yes.
with the Lama, yeah, through that, okay.
So yeah, so through explorations of the different principles,
Mm-hmm,
you can bring the principles into your own practice
mm-hmm,
and practice your own authentic practice, and so that you get to study more about your own authentic self rather than following a form that someone else taught you. And that's part of the art of being in the flow. It's like learning what you need in this given moment. Well, I need to take a break from reading a book because I'm all I see is letters. Oh, well, maybe I should take the break and be conscious about it.
mm,
What do I need? Do I need to give my body some attention? Okay, I will do a practice of empowerment where I will empower my body. Maybe my shoulder hurts because I sat in a weird way reading and I forgot to pay attention to my body because my mind was so occupied. Oh, well, in that case, now that I have noticed it and I'm conscious, I can pay attention to this part of my body, heal it, bring it back into the flow. So that's part of this basic Qigong program, is learning these principles, learning the art of being natural, how we were all born to be,
mm.
and learning a harmonious way of moving. And as we talked about before, if you move in harmonious way, it's way easier to be harmonious in your mental well-being, in your finances, in your intimate relationships, if you can move with the flow, move in harmonious ways. There are saying, some people say that you are the way you move. And if you don't move at all, then you get stuck or there's frozen movement. And then maybe when you have frozen movement physically, there will also be frozen movement spiritually or mentally. You're a really hard sell, so that's why I'm like, what the heck am I going to
Me,
say right now?
me, I'm just a pussycat. No, I, I mean, it's interesting. I think you need to bring in more of there's a lot of Qigong practitioners that have different forms that can help you. But the reality is that if you get the form that you need for your own body, you're going to be better off than using someone else's form.
Mm-hmm.
And Lama asks you to check all these different positions to see which you resonate with more, which will allow you to become better. Something like that.
I like that. Okay. I'll have to, yeah.
But I'm just saying it's not,
That's
he challenges his students not to accept what he thinks is right, because he thinks his students need to figure out what they think, what works best for them. We all have different bodies. We all have different brains. All of it, maybe my brain isn't wired like Lama's, probably not. He can speak a couple different languages. I can barely speak English sometimes. My mom used to say I sounded like I just came off the boat. Oh, mommy. But anyways, I'm just saying that's what I think he brings to the Academy of Qigong, is the ability not only to show you what you should check out because you've never checked it out, because you just assumed everybody else walked the way that you walk, or you never even look at how other people walk. Because you think they're all, it's funny how we think everybody else experiences everything the same way we do. And it's just not true. And there's so many experiences.
yeah,
that we have, that we misinterpret because we're trying to interpret it through what a teacher or a friend or somebody else, or maybe even all these rumors we hear nowadays. It's almost too much in some cases.
Mm. What kind of rumors?
Oh, just what's going on in Russia. We don't know what's going on in Russia. We have no clue.
Mm.
Or we don't even know what's going on in Ukraine, really.
Yeah.
Not that I really
Okay.
want to find out, but
Yeah.
in a way.
Well, yeah. Yeah. What I'm sitting with right now is like, obviously, to sell to someone, the basic thing is that they have a problem that you can help them with, right?
Mhm.
And listening to you, asking you questions, like the only like problem or like the thing that seems lowest is like, oh, you mentioned finances are lower. All right, so you already move, you're on, like, so from me, I'm like, okay, where do I go in and I can dig further, into like,
Well, the question
right?
is if they're in a financial instability, it's hard for you to tell them that spending $2,500 is going to get them out of that.
Yeah, I
But the
agree.
question is that you've got to look at what other, you've got this whole pie chart, and so that should give you more areas to find that, how much, with would spending $2,500 be better for you now than 6 months from now, than 3 years from now? I don't. That's
Yeah, and it's not like we want to go into pushing and manipulating with this with sale. I've been manipulated. I've given into that in the past and gone into horrible debt. So, um,
no,
it's
you don't.
it's
Yeah, we don't want our
we don't.
students to go into
No,
debt. But
no.
the question is that's why I'm saying is if Lama is really willing to, in order to get 200 people into his class, which I think would be tremendous, because all of a sudden your class is so much better because you've got 200 people that are, or 20 people that are participating instead
Yeah,
of 3, and everybody else has like different viewpoints. And if you can get everybody to do at least one viewpoint, then all of a sudden people will have different reference points within your teachings.
yeah.
I don't know.
I guess it's for this round. Like again, there's a promised. What I would do, like if I saw a problem in the things you would tell me, I would definitely dig into that and talk about what would it do to you to be in another place and all that, and then go into, well, here is our program, right? And but I'm wondering if, since there is a promised strategy session for this round and there's a scholarship application, if um, we should do like a shorter version of the pie chart, like a
Mhm.
couple of areas of it, and then assess those, and then go into the future, and then do the timeline, and then from there go into enrollment. What do you think about that?
Well, I think you probably shouldn't go into finance at all during the strategy session, because it just is unless they're multimillionaires and they don't give a damn about anything, then why are they even applying for a scholarship? Nevertheless,
Yeah. Okay. So there needs to, you mean that you do think that there
I
needs to
mean,
be
you
a
should do
session separate?
strength, mental, spiritual, well-being, those those sort of areas that everybody needs to improve. Family relationships, all that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to figure out, like, so that we get people enrolled before July 12th, when the program supposedly is starting. What is, we are in a current situation where everybody has been promised a free complimentary strategy session, which in my opinion, then they don't know that it's also an enrollment call. So they need
Yeah,
to
so
be
I think,
aware that they're, yeah.
well, the truth of the matter is everybody knows if you're getting a strategy session, you're going to get a soft sell at the end.
Yeah.
So that's not unexpected. But I
Well,
think,
but yeah. So go ahead.
but I think I think you need to make the strategy session less onerous on you. And so I think you should limit it to a couple different areas that you think most people, based on what, maybe you can look at what each one has said, and you can probably tell 2 or 3 areas that they need to improve.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
On improving those with them, and just say, this is a strategy session. It's based a little bit on your application. Here's what we would normally talk about. And maybe you could, like I said, send them some questions that they have to answer before the strategy session, so that they're already predisposed to the direction you're going to go. So they've already thought about it a little bit, instead of, surprising someone with, oh, we're going to talk about your relationship and your wife. And you go, what?
Yeah. Okay. So sending out an email and have them respond back.
Yeah, you could say, well, and you've got to schedule it now too. I mean, you don't have much time to schedule it.
I agree. That's but what I'm saying. So you're saying to have the strategy call, but do the not do the sale.
No, I think you could I think you could I think you could do the strategy call and then say that I think Llama has to tell you whether or not he's going to give everybody a little discount no matter what.
Yeah.
And just say that, here's, now that you've had this strategy call, we're going to be releasing the thing in a couple of days or whenever it's going to be, first, second, and third. And we want to let you know that the 2,500 deal for you is going to be such and such.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll ask him about that, and then I will do a smaller strategy session, and then enrolling them. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, at the end
It
of
seems a
the
little. Yeah. Hmm?
day, it's gonna be, it's if you have it more, if you have it oriented so they each know what the strategy session is going to encompass. And then you can
Yeah.
ask them if they want to talk, if they have, do they have some specific idea or some specific thing they want to talk about? Or would they be interested in talking about these 3 areas, which most people have as or you could say, these are the 3 areas that, based on what I've read, that you've written, may be of interest to you. Would that be what you want to talk about in the strategy session?
Yeah.
Because if you've gone through each of them, right? And so you have an
Mhm.
idea of of what people's strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I mean, did you ask him what are your 3 strengths and what are your 3 weaknesses? Did they have to answer that in the deal?
No, it was more just
What have you experienced with
which of the
IT?
what is the big dream that you would like to manifest becoming a certified Qi Dao practitioner? How will the world become a better place as the result of your Qi Dao practice? Which of the following skills do you have? How open are you to learning from different masters? the current challenges in your own practice. So there are that challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are the main benefits you would like to get from your Qidao studies. So there are that too. So they have that whole like improve my many and almost all of them are saying improve my health and wellness. So and then there are a couple of spiritual development too, right? So definitely that's an important thing to talk about. And then the main reason you started studying Qidao or Qigong or internal arts, and then how long you've been practicing Qigong. So there are like they do share what their challenges are and what they really would like to get out of it. So there are information on the scholarship forms already.
Mm-hmm. So maybe you could do their strategy sessions about, where their weaknesses are and how you
Yeah.
could help them with that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So pick the life areas that is represented in their forms. Yeah.
So you got 20 people you got to go through.
Yeah.
So that's a half hour just getting all this stuff sort of organized for them for each one, probably.
Yeah.
And then a half hour on the meeting with them. So that's 20 hours. And you've
Yeah.
got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or less than 2 weeks, actually.
Yeah.
So you got to do one a week. I mean, one a day.
Or at least because there are a couple of days where like I'm going to do a border run tomorrow. I'll be out of the country, so Saturday and Sunday I'll be out of the country. So tomorrow I have 2, and then Monday I have 1 or 2, I think. Yeah. So so I definitely have to do 2 or 3 a day to make it all work, and it all depends on their schedule too, right? So
That's true.
I just want to know if I am, slamming my head against the wall doing it this long way, because obviously the other day Lama and I spent 2 hours on a call,
Mm-hmm.
and Lama ended up kind of rushing through the last part, which is the enrollment part of
Mm-hmm.
actually clicking the link and signing up at the spot. So the person did not pay or click a sign up at the spot. So he now needs another call to make sure, like, right? So it's that what I'm talking about is how can we make it as simple and easy as possible for all parts. When a person is 100% yes, when he's like, yeah, of course, I'm all in, then get them to actually sign up at the call rather than like, oh, you could just wait till later, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
So,
everybody's hoping that they're going to win a scholarship, so that
and he
changes,
did. Yeah.
it pretty strongly. And if you tell people they didn't get the scholarship and now you're going to, yeah, I don't, I mean, I think you need to do this before you announce the scholarship winners. That's what I'm saying. Because once you do that, then a lot of people's listening to you isn't going to happen.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I don't.
maybe the email I sent them when I invite them to book a session
Mm-hmm,
is, hey, make sure to book your complimentary strategy session
mm-hmm.
to find out if you are the lucky winner of the scholarship for our upcoming program starting mid-July. And maybe that will initiate them to
And
come in.
that'll make them more motivated. That's for sure. But you're telling them you already know whether they've won or not, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I could vote. I could say that, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, because oh shit. I, well, what if somebody wins the third prize award, are they gonna book right away? Or are they gonna be just, okay, I didn't win, bye?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just trying to make it as convenient as possible. That's why I'm saying you need to find out from Llama whether everybody's gonna get a third place award or not.
And if he says yes, everybody gets a third place, then should I just book all of them now and say, hey, come figure out, or should I tell them in the email you won?
Yeah, so get your complimentary session now, so.
Yeah. Like you won, oh, you won a third prize. Come get your complimentary session, and so you can utilize your
And sign up for the,
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
because otherwise, if you say you only had one, if you only have 3 people to won, he's gonna end up with 3 students. Or maybe not even 3.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and he did say since he just raised the price from 2,000 to 2,500, at 25% off is like what, 600 something. So,
Mhm.
so it would basically just mean that, oh, we're grandfathering people in,
100,
right? And then,
yeah.
yeah,
No, and I think the benefit to him of having more students is tremendous. I did some online teaching. If you don't have a full class, the class isn't as good as when you have a full class, because then you've got a little competition going on. You got people that are a little more motivated, but if you got 6 people, then that's not a great class, I don't think.
yeah, I agree. Okay. Well, I will ask Lama if he's okay with giving everybody at least a third prize, and then of course there'll be one winner of the first prize, and then I think he said 2 winners of the second prize. So yeah,
Whatever. You know, I mean, truthfully, like you said, he's raised the price and now he's discounted back down to the old price. I think you should be okay with that.
okay.
But then you need to send them saying, hey, you've won one of the prizes. Let's have a strategy session. I'll tell you what prize you won. I wouldn't tell them they won,
Yeah, which one? I'll just say, oh, hey, you won.
yeah.
Let's
You want
sign
to,
up for a
you won one of,
complimentary
you
strategy
won one of the
session.
prizes. Yeah. Sign up for the strategy session and we can also establish the, the pricing details.
Yeah.
Is he gonna
So
do
that they
something that
know, yeah.
you can pay every month a certain price? Or does he want to
Yeah,
pay?
there's monthly payments too, I think.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I mean, just I want to fail the program for him, but I really need to do something, because if not, if I don't send out those emails,
Yeah,
there's not
nothing's
enough
gonna
time
happen.
for people to, yeah, and yeah, we're a week and a half away, so yeah, we gotta get on it for sure, right?
The question is does he want to put some other people on it besides you? That's the other question.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a good question.
you
And he
know.
could potentially do that, or he could take some himself too, right?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
So
You give him all the 25 percenters.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
God,
Sell
I made
them. Yeah.
100% sales. I did all this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that sale would have gone through if I had followed my gut the other night and just instead of listening to Lama saying, "Oh, you can wait till later." I was like, "No, let's just go through the link now," because he was ready, and
Mhm,
now I don't know what happened afterwards. So
mhm.
I think I'm more ready to be like closing people, because if they're ready, like, let's get them in, instead of course, I'm not going to push anybody, but if they're ready and they're like, "Oh my God, yeah," he was like, "Oh, it's going to be amazing." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's get you in now."
Yeah,
So,
yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. You need to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so each strategy session ends with a sale,
Hmm.
especially if you're giving them the deal, and then I'm not going to give it to you next month, the next time this program runs around.
Yeah.
And are these all people that went to the Tai Chi Qigong um, day sessions?
I think many of them are.
Mhm.
Um, I actually don't know exactly if they're all that. Yeah.
He also said that he had taken some other people that had won other prizes before and added them in or something, or participated in other drawings.
There are people all the way back from February 2018 in this list.
Okay.
But I'm going to focus on the ones that came in June this year, because obviously they are the fresh ones, right? So,
Mhm.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
the whole
So,
list
okay.
is 20, or is it
The
more?
whole list is, I think actually, oh, the whole list is way more.
Okay.
One, so from two down to 59.
Okay.
But that's including the ones from 2018. But the
Okay.
current one is actually 29 at this point.
Okay. He can handle 29, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like Lama said, well, if there's that many, we just do two programs at the same time.
Okay.
So 15 each. Yeah.
Well, I don't think
Cool.
I helped, but anyways, it was fun talking to you.
It was fun talking to you too. No, you had some good insight. Yeah, I wanted some confirmation that the email that I send out to these people is going to state that, hey, you've won something, and
We need to
that's what
schedule
we're
a
also going
session.
to yes,
Yes.
and that's what we're also going to discuss.
Session to discuss what you want. Yeah.
So they don't think they're just getting a strategy session. It's all complimentary, but then there's a soft sell in the end. I don't know. So it's, yeah. Okay.
Oh, but they know that they
Okay.
want something, or they potentially, yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's
Okay. Okay, cool. So I'll just narrow down the spinning wheel or the pie chart to like the areas that I can tell that they want,
yes,
um,
that they
they
would
have
be
challenges
interested.
with.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then you can also mention we can make this pie chart bigger, but let's look at the things that are your focus right now, because that's a
Yeah.
strategy. What it's a strategy session for you. It isn't for
Yeah.
everyone.
Authentically for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you so much, Bob,
You're
for Rob
welcome.
or Bob. Bob?
Robert, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Bob. Okay. I think Lama calls you Bob. So awesome, awesome. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see each other in some other time, I think. Yeah.
Sure, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Have a good day.
Well.